On this episode, I'll be seeing one of the world's favourite travel destinations from a whole new perspective.
From above and from below.
And welcoming Heron Island's most popular return visitors.
Imagine spending your entire life out at sea, then after 30 years you return to the exact beach where you were born. I'm about to show you some animals who see lying on the beach as just plain hard work.
The Great Barrier Reef. It's one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. Stretching more than 2,300 kilometres across the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland in Australia. It's the only living structure visible from space. It's taken a 45-minute boat trip from Cairns in far north Queensland to get to Green Island. Just one of 900 islands on the reef. It's a great place to start exploring. And my guide Amanda has a unique way in mind that goes by the name of Seawalker.
Seawalker is a helmet dive, so you don't need mask, you don't need regulator fins, any of that.
A helmet dive?
Helmet dive.
What do you mean by a helmet dive?
We just have a helmet and we breathe normally and you can walk on the seafloor.
Like an old pearl diver?
Yes.
How long has this been around for?
For 10 years now, and we had like more than 150,000 customers. So we have like lots of people come every day to Green Island to experience Seawalker.
So even if you can't swim, you can go and explore the reef?
Definitely.
Because of the helmet?
Yes.
What am I going to see down there?
We have a famous parrotfish, Gavin.
Gavin?
Yeah.
He's down there?
Yes, always. He always with us. He loves us.
Does he have a strange view of what humans look like? Does he think they all have big glass heads?
Probably, because we look so different from them, probably.
How do you stop the water from getting inside the helmet?
We have the air going inside the helmet all the time, so the water don't go in.
If you run out of air?
Impossible, you never run out of air. We have like 2 compressors, we have tanks, everything to provide air for you the whole trip, no problem.
Even if I'm talking a lot?
Yes, you can talk a lot, no worries.
This is a more modern take on how it was done in the days before scuba diving. I'm about to see the reef from below, but I've got to say, this would have to be one of the most bizarre ways to do it. Let's go.
Ready?
Drop the dome. And it feels as strange as it looks.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for men that like to wear stupid helmets.
On the surface, these helmets weigh 45 kilos, but underwater, they're as light as a feather.
What a strange experience, because you're weightless. Almost like you are on the moon. Only difference is, these guys. What are you looking at? I saw that. You as well. Keep your mouth shut. I know what you're thinking. Each and every one of you. I think it's Gavin.
Down here, anyone can immerse themselves in the life of the reef. And unlike scuba, it only needs a few minutes of training.
Shall we walk? Let's walk. Great Barrier Reef and still have perfect hair. I mean, look at this. Perfect. She can't understand a word I'm saying, so I can really ask her any question and she'll probably go like that. You think this is ridiculous? Yeah, that's what I thought. So the one thing I can't resist doing when I'm down here is a bit of moonwalking. And not this kind, but this kind.
Your seafloor adventure even comes with a photo, and it turns out the fish love it almost as much as you do.
So after being 14 feet below, now it's time to go 14,000 feet above.
And for that, I'm heading back to the mainland and tandem can skydiving. Holding me tightly will be instructor Phil. When most people come to see the reef, they lie on a beach, they go swimming, they go snorkeling. What's with this?
I heard you're going to do a skydive with us.
Well, that's right. How high are we going?
We're going to 15,000 feet.
15,000?
Yeah.
That should give us a pretty good view of the reef.
Over 4 kilometres. You'll be able to see all the way up from Cairns right down to past Mission Beach.
All right, so what do I need to know up there?
So first of all, this is the harness that you're going to be attached to me.
Where am I and where are you?
You're going to be on the front of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trust there, Phil.
It sure is.
Yep. Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, you're a little bit tall, so I'm going to have to adjust this down a bit. All good.
Are there any problems with being tall?
No, all good.
Fairly important question for you, Phil.
Yeah.
How many jumps have you done?
Just coming up to 32,000. So you're not going to be after my job after this, are you?
Well, it's unlikely. In those 32,000 jumps, everything's gone well?
Most of the time, but that's why we've got 2 parachutes.
Got to love a skydiver with a sense of humour.
We're going to slide out the door together. You're going to be attached to me at the front, arms crossed. Yeah, head back. OK, we're going to fall out the plane like that. When I'm ready, I'll tap you.
Yep.
I'll bring your hands back into the skydiving position, just like that.
I like to call that the turtle.
The most important part of the jump's going to be the landing. I need your feet up, and the best way is hands under the knees and pull them up. Heels out, point your toes, great. Okay. Easy. One more time. So we'll exit the aircraft together, arms crossed, head back. OK, away we go.
Turtle position.
Wait till I tap you, then you can bring your hands out. Too easy?
Turtle.
All right, now you know as much as me.
Almost. It's a bit scarier than sea walking, but don't forget, you've got someone with a wealth of experience behind you all the way. Phil, do you get many people that, back out?
No. People take a long time to make up their mind to do a skydive, but once they commit, they normally go through it, and we take no prisoners here.
I guess they've got no choice, really, when you're harnessed in and attached to
Yeah, because no tends to sound like go.
And with that, I guess it's time to go.
Funny thing is, even if you wanted to, you can't really back out now. You're literally strapped in with nowhere to go apart from down. But first, gotta go up.
The view from up here is the next best thing to seeing the reef from space.
Well, part of the mission's accomplished because I can see the Great Barrier Reef. The only thing is now, we have to get down.
3 minutes to go, Chris. You ready?
Good job. So we're now at 12,000 feet, almost at our spot. The air's getting a bit thin, so everyone's getting a little crazy.
Here we are, mate, 1 minute to go. Still think it's a good idea?
I think everything's a great idea right now.
All right, let's go do this.
Well, I guess it's time to find out if waiting was the hardest part. Or if it's hitting the ground. And it just goes to show that when you think you've done it all on the reef, it's still full of surprises.
All right, Chris. Oh, that was
I just fell for the Great Barrier Reef. After that adrenaline overload, I'm heading further down the Queensland coast to Heron Island, just off Gladstone. Another unspoilt spot on the Great Barrier Reef where you can escape the hurly-burly of urban life. The island's only 800 metres long and 300 metres wide. In fact, they say you can run around the whole thing in under 20 minutes. Well, off you go then. I said run. But you know, the reason they call this place Nature's Wonderland isn't actually here. It's out there. And the star of the show is the incredible green turtle. These beautiful creatures return to the island every year to lay their eggs. And taking me out to see them today is resident dive organiser, Sam. It just seems alive. I mean, wherever you are and you open your ears and your eyes and there's just life, isn't it?
Exactly. We're really lucky here. We've both underwater and here up on the beach, just teeming with marine life. A lot of birds, as you can hear as well. It's a pretty incredible place. Corals here are beautiful, the formations. We have rays, turtles, sharks, whales, everything you could pretty much ask for, yeah. A lot of animals will use this as a migratory stop, and we also have our resident creatures as well.
And that's probably why you've given me this and why you're wearing that.
Exactly. Let's go and have a look.
The ocean surrounding the island is home to 60% of the fish species found on the reef, including sharks and rays. And it's very easy to get distracted. This wreck is the oldest Navy ship in Australia, and it's pretty popular with everything around here. But it doesn't take long before I find exactly what I came for, the graceful green turtle. These guys are amongst the largest sea turtles in the world, and fully mature, they can weigh well over 300 kilos. To lay their eggs, the females can travel more than 2,500 kilometres to reach their spawning grounds.
It's incredible to be swimming alongside a turtle like that. The only thing is, he can hold his breath a bit longer than I can.
absolutely spectacular, mate.
No worries. Thanks a lot for coming, Chris. Glad you enjoyed it.
Teeming, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. And your day's not finished here. I think it'll just keep getting better for you.
You reckon?
Yeah, it could do.
Some sort of promise there.
Oh, we'll see.
Thanks, mate.
No
Appreciate it.
worries.
And it's a promise well kept because as I was busy filming my thoughtful island walking shots, this happened. You got to see this. This is quite unusual. We're in the middle of the day right now, and this guy is making his journey from his nest, which he's just come out of, to the ocean. This guy could live for 100 years, and the 100 years, this 20 metres, is the most dangerous of his entire life because he can get picked off by crabs, by birds, and he's chosen the most dangerous time to do it. The first time he's ever touched the ocean, and away he goes. Look at him go. But it's not only hard work for the hatchlings, it's pretty tough for Mum too. Imagine spending your entire life out at sea, then after 30 years you return to the exact beach where you were born. But from here, the challenge only just begins. After hauling that 200 kilogram frame all the way out the beach, she now has to dig down over half a metre of sand to lay more than 100 eggs. But in order to see this, we have to wait until dark. Guiding me through this once-in-a-lifetime experience is Sarah. I'm guessing this is your favourite time of day, am I right?
It is, you're right. So the sun's just started to go down and the heat of the day is over. So soon the hatchlings will be making their way across the sand to the water. And after that, when the sun goes down, the mums will start making their way up to lake.
So what is it about this time of day that is so critical for them?
Well, it's important because the hatchlings are responding to that drop in temperature. So that's how they know that it's safe to come out of the nest and make a dash for the water.
Because it's dangerous work, isn't it?
It's a pretty high mortality rate from the nest to the water's edge with birds.
Yep.
And then they have to swim as fast as they can across the reef flat to get away from the sharks. And then they're out in deep water and they're hopefully relatively safe.
And for the mothers, why lay the eggs now?
Well, the mums at night, they're coming up because they're trying to keep the light behind them on the water and go for the dark to lay their eggs so that when their eggs hatch, they know to keep the dark behind them and make their dash for the light on the water.
So what should we be looking out for if we want to spot these turtles?
If we want to see the hatchlings, it's just a case of keeping our eyes open, looking for birds maybe circling in the air or people looking intently at the ground. And as far as mums are concerned, you look for her track. So you don't want to stumble across the mother, you want to stumble across her track.
Does Mum ever come across her babies coming back in?
No, once she lays the eggs, she doesn't have anything to do with them ever again.
All right, let's find some turtles. So those eggs will sit in the nest for
65 days.
65 days, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just pick the right time and we're just looking for them to, I guess, spew out the outside and...
So one will start digging and all the rest will start following suit. And then depending on how warm it was, they'll either be boys or girls.
I'm guessing there are no real clues, though, as to where they're going to come from because the mother does such a good job at camouflaging them.
Exactly. And on our best night, we had 250 female turtles a night coming up to nest, so
Wow.
There's no way to tell when each nest was laid, unfortunately.
So what you can do is just keep your eyes open. We've got tracks here.
Yep, so these are 2 hatchling tracks.
Okay. It looks like they made the whole way.
Hopefully, yeah.
As the sun sets, we're keeping our eyes peeled for turtle tracks. And with the help of our night vision cameras, we're in luck.
No, she's still looking for somewhere to lay. The good thing is you don't have to worry about being quiet because she doesn't have very good hearing. It's just the light that's a problem. So as long as we keep lights off, we can talk as much as we want.
Once she's found a good spot, Mother Turtle will dig a hole with her hind flippers and lay her eggs. Yeah, sand. Flicking. That's her flippers starting to dig a hole. The nesting and hatching season happens between November and May, and it is an experience not to be missed. She's now stopped the scooping, and if you look very carefully, she's actually starting to lay eggs right now.
So so she's a little bit bashful. Some girls open their flippers right up and she's got them closed. She's classy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, so she's very warm.
Green turtles can lay up to 160 eggs in one night. Burying them will give some protection from predators. Still, it's estimated that only one baby in 1,000 will survive.
You know, seeing wildlife in a natural habitat is always special, but to literally have a front row seat to one of nature's most spectacular shows is something I'll never ever forget.
Heron Island is a 24-hour experience. It's even worth the early rise to see one of our new mums return to the sea. Thought it was a long night for me, but it's clearly been an even longer night for her. But now it's time for her to leave the island. I guess I have to do the same.